Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about the thundercage, my setup using it, and I have put some money into the gun, so this is not no budget setup, but it's a setup I like and that I want to show off. Now I will say, every single time I make a video that involves some mods, people are like, oh, you don't use this, you don't know what you're talking about. And then when I use that in a video, oh, you don't use this, you don't know what you're talking about. Look, you feel free to build the gun however you want. This is my build, my setup, what I want to use in my general gameplay. So yeah, let's just leave it at that and we'll move on. So the thundercage, one of the better, if not the best weapon in this game for all-round gameplay, not specifically damage or anything, and that has a lot to do with the unique ability. So when defeating an enemy, the defeated enemy has a set chance to discharge electric shockwave, which deals additional damage to nearby enemies. So basically they blow up and hit everything around them. This gun is fast firing, it's got decent range, it feels good to use, it looks good to use, it's just a really good gun. So let's use the weapon now. You can see that I'm doing around about 5,245 on a normal hit, 9,168 yellow damage, precision about 14,000, and then crit is about 25,000 as you just saw it pop up. Hopefully we can get it to come again. No, that's 14,000. I can't get the crit to pop up now because there's no perks on it to increase crit, but it is 25,000. That is bare bones, nothing on the weapon. Now, I have assigned some module socket types to this weapon. As you can see, I think you start off with, what is it, 1 or 2? So you can see I've added quite a lot. I think 4 in total I've added. I think I started with these 2, or at least one of them and one of them, but I've added other things to it. So a typical build for this gun, you know, under the module capacity of 60, because I have obviously made my capacity higher. So this is under the original 60, and this is what you'll typically have, like a firearm attack buff, fire rate buff, rounds per magazine. Across the board, whatever setup you use with the thundercage, these 3 are pretty much necessary. Then I have electric enhancement, so it adds extra electric damage equal to 26.2% of my firearm attack. So that's like the more damage, extra damage type of perk. Critical hit rate up, critical hit damage up, and a little bit of recoil control. That's not necessarily needed. There's just fewer things that cost 4 that, you know, you can use in that spot. So this is like a typical base setup. So with the damage on this kind of base build, you know, you got 30,000 precision, 13,500 yellow, 8,000-ish white, and then for a crit is nearly 50,000. So you can see a dramatic increase in damage just from putting on what I would call like a basic setup that most people would use in general. So now let's talk about my setup. Right, let's test the numbers first and then we'll come back to it. Now, there are different mods, like I said, that could be preferable. This is just what I like. So we can see now that we're up to 9,400 damage in white damage. Try and get the yellow damage to proc. Yellow damage about 20,000, 57,000 for a precision, and 121,000 damage for a crit. Let's try and get that again. There we go. And as you can see, I'm hitting crit way more often now because of the perks that we're going to be looking at. This weapon also has the intrinsic perks of chill attack, so I get to freeze enemies and do extra damage. Bonus fire attack versus Colossus, so I do more damage against the big boys. Fire arm critical hit damage, so I'm getting that critical chance up and then doing more damage. And then some weak point damage as well. So that last one could be changed, but I'm just using it for if I run out of all my ammo and I need to kill some Colossus weak points, I've got it there with the bonus firearm attack. So I like that setup in general. But let's look at the mods. So not too different in a lot of aspects. So like rifling reinforcement for firearm attack plus 32%, definitely going to be needed. Then I went with action and reaction. It increases the recoil, but it also increases the firearm attack dramatically by 61%. So these two together are hugely improving the damage overall. Definitely 2 perks you should be invested into with most weapons, but together on the thundercage, pretty goddamn amazing. Then we have edging shots. Firearm critical hit rate, 12.5% increase, but you reduce some of that firearm attack. But it's made up tenfold by having these 2 perks. But then we also get an extra 12% chance of a crit hits. Then we have another increase to crit hit, 26% from better insight. Again, another kind of perk that you'll be using all the time on a lot of different weapons. And then we have concentration priority. Firearm critical hit damage 120%, but you lose some reload, which isn't too big of a deal on the thundercage, but you can also maybe equip something that increases reload time to negate that. But the 120% critical damage is just insane, and you saw it with my weapon going up to nearly 122,000 damage on a crit. So over here now we're getting more crits, more firearm attack, more damage. This is kind of like a really good setup for damage for the thundercage. But then on top of that, we're going to have fire rate concentration. So you increase your fire rate so the bullets are coming out quicker, but again, more increase to the critical hit damage. So even more damage being put out at a faster rate. Then we have better concentration, more critical hit damage again, plus 40%. So that's another typical kind of mod that you'll always use, especially next to better insight. So these two kind of work in tandem. Then we have more rounds per magazine. You get through those bullets so quick, you don't want to reload as often because we do lose the reload time with the concentration priority. So having like an extra however many bullets, 50%, it's not, I don't think it's truly 50%. Regardless, you get more bullets in the magazine. Then weak point damage plus 8% and a firearm critical hit rate plus 1.5%. This could probably be swapped out for something, but for right now it's just what I like. And then weak point sight, weak point damage plus 20%. You could even probably get rid of that, max this out, and then probably still have room for one more mod, because that's getting halved in cost. So that's another choice you could make. But for right now, this is exactly what I'm using and I love it. And I think it just does good all-round damage to everything in the game, including Colossus. But it's just fun as well. And seeing all these numbers pop up in orange is a lot of fun. And I get to chill people as well. Chill attack, by the way, for me is one of the best things in this game. Being able to stop anything in its tracks, elite enemies and stuff, definitely worth it. Let's go try it on a Colossus. It's not going to be the most devastating weapon against Colossus, but you can see what it can do. So I haven't beat Hanged Man yet because of the mechanics behind it, and I keep running into teams who don't know what they're doing. And for me, I'd rather just play the game and then maybe go back to Hanged Man at some point. So we are going with the Swamp Walker, which is the next kind of highest boss closest to my level. So you will see a bit of an improved damage than you probably would see on hard mode. But for me right now, you're just gonna see what it's like. I think this boss, by the way, I don't know why he's like on hard mode, but on normal, probably one of the easiest bosses in the whole thing. I want to get him out of the water though, so that we can see what damage we can truly do against him. I don't have toxic antibody on, I just realized. Right. That's a lot of damage. I know it's a little bit easier when you're solo, but... Oh, fell in there. In the stuff. Look, I've already got him down to yellow on that, and then I can't get up to him. Oh no, I forgot I got me there maneuvering on. Let's do it over here. Oh, already gone off his shoulder. I wish you'd stand still though and stop shaking around. I've actually got the weak type as well, so I'm doing green damage. I didn't even realize. Get down on the floor. Let's just throw some water at that little guy, get him out of the way. Like, I've got his shield down in less than a minute. I know I'm a little bit higher level and it's on solo, but you get the idea that the thundercage is absolutely wrecking him regardless. I reckon I could probably... I was going to say I could probably get him down to at least half health before he goes immune, but then he just proved me completely wrong. And I'm not going to bother with the rest of the fight for you to see. You get the points. But I will finish it off myself. Let me just kill these little guys. Anyway, that's the video. Ow, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped. I hope you get a good thundercage out of this. I hope you, if you are spending money or leveling up the weapons really fast, that this helps. Let me know. Thank you for watching. I've been easynow. You guys have been awesome.